Hi everyone, and welcome to our Touch Base Thursday for January 20th. I am going to give it a minute here for all of you to find me, and I can make sure that I myself am live. So if you are joining me, please comment and tell me hello, and we will get started here in just a couple of minutes. I need to do the refresh myself here to make sure I can find myself. Okay, there we go. So again, if you are joining me, please comment, tell me hello. Hi, Courtney. Welcome. Let's see who else we have here. Let me move my little work thing out of the way. Close out of that. So I'm seeing some comments, but not all of them yet. So hi to Kay and Courtney. There they come. Carol. Hi, ladies. Welcome. So that is always my worst fear. Am I live in the right place? And are people finding me okay? So anyway, comments didn't start coming in right away. Hi, Philomena, and like I said, to Courtney and Carol. So welcome everyone. So Burr from a cold Michigan tonight. It is so cold outside. I don't think my hands have warmed up since I got home from work. They're still kind of chilly. So yeah, it has just been kind of cold. So anyway, I gotta say, I know I talked about my stand last week that my son got me for Christmas. I love it because I'm right at the level where I can see comments and don't have to look down. So you guys get to see me smile and my face more than just me looking at the comments here. So anyway, hi Nancy, and I know I got more of you coming in as we get started. So tonight I'm going to share with you some projects that I created using the Rainbow of Happiness bundle. And a couple of these cards were featured with what my online bingo party did last night, but I've got other projects in addition to those. But I love this rainbow stuff. So this is what I'm going to be sharing with you tonight. So some awesome stuff using the Rainbow of Happiness bundle. So hi Mary and Patty, Donna, Pat. If I forget any of you, oh, Tammy's there. I'll just start by saying I'm really sorry. I don't mean to forget any of your names. Sometimes they just come scrolling in so fast that I don't have a chance to catch all of you. So anyway, a few announcements that I have before we get started. I always give you guys an update on my girls because I know a lot of you follow them. And so they are actually, they're not here tonight. So normally they're home by a little after the time I start my Facebook Live. But they are auditioning tonight for their dance company for this semester. And what they're going to be doing is they're going to be doing their whole dance recital this spring is focused on the Wizard of Oz. And they had asked for dancers age 11 and up to audition for some specific parts and some specific solos, dancing some songs for the Wizard of Oz in costume for the performance. And then this company will also perform for different nursing homes and for shut-ins, which really is near and dear to my heart that they do that kind of outreach. And then they also will be performing at some of the CMU, our Central Michigan University halftime of basketball games. So they're really excited. So they are at auditions for that tonight from 6 until 8. And so wish them luck because I know that they both would really like a part. And I know there's more people auditioning than what she has space. So she already kind of warned some of the girls, you know, that it's going to have to be a good fit for what she needs. So I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that both my girls get a part. I love it when they either both do or both don't. Otherwise, it can be kind of, but I know it's also part of life's lesson. So we'll have to just wait and see how that all plays out. They find out next week. So I can let you guys know next week how that works out for them. But they were really excited and stoked about it. And then Claire is working hard on her. She's actually been selected to do a solo at her solo ensemble for school. And so we finally got confirmation that her pianist can accompany her, which is the one that she's been working with her private instructor. So I was happy to get that confirmation just a little while ago, right before I went on my Facebook Live. Otherwise, we have to find a new accompanist. And that can be kind of tough when you've worked with the same one for so long. And so anyway, she'll compete at the state level, and then we'll see, or at the, I think it's called the district level, and then she may go on to the state. So keeping our fingers crossed for her there too, but she's really excited, and she'll be playing a piece. Most of you are Facebook friends with me, and so you may have seen me already post it. It was a post back from October, and she's going to be playing that same piece. She's just fine-tuning it. all of that good stuff. So, oh, thank you, Shireen. So this is actually one of my favorite outfits. The little roses, and it's got green in it. So the sweater just kind of picks up that green. So anyway, virtual school for them is going okay. They have 5 more days tomorrow, and then next week till Thursday. Friday's a no school day for them. So it's going okay, but it's been kind of a struggle because Claire's a people person and Natalie's only there 1 hour a day because she's at the at CMU. So, but our schools did decide to go virtual for a couple weeks. So hopefully everyone gets over the illness and we can get back to a little bit of a normal schedule. I just wanted to let those of you know, I know some of you may have known this, some of you may not have, but if you're looking to reach me on Monday, it's going to be hit or miss if you can reach me. My uncle and my godfather passed away. He had pneumonia, and his funeral is on Monday. So I'll be traveling back to my hometown, which is 2.5 hours away, to attend his funeral. So if there's anything that any of you need prior to that, please let me know, and I will make sure. But just know that my responses might be a little bit delayed on Monday. So I want to make sure you guys knew that. So this would have been my dad's brother. So, and my dad passed away 13 years ago. So, anyway, just want to make sure you guys knew that so that you wouldn't be wondering if I know sometimes I get messages and you guys will say, "Are you okay? I haven't heard from you today." But that might be why, because I probably won't be on my phone until we're on the way back home. I also wanted to talk a little bit, thank you, Philomena. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about my cystic fibrosis event. So I posted out there that I had a really beautiful masculine card class using the Grassy Grove bundle. That is an optional class as part of my cystic fibrosis creative escape event. So I want to talk to you a little bit about that. This is my 9th annual creative escape for cystic fibrosis. I do an in-person event, which is close to capacity. So if you're interested in coming to that event, I have to cap it at a certain number, and I'm almost there. It is the first weekend in March, and it's local here in Mount Pleasant, Michigan, but I have some people that come from downstate and all over. But I cap it because of space. I just want to make sure I've got plenty of space and we can kind of still spread out and all of that. But I also have an online version of that. It's kind of like a retreat to go or retreat in a box. All my proceeds benefit the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, which I had a very close friend of mine, her son passed away of cystic fibrosis waiting for a lung transplant. And that's how the event started, and I've been doing it every year. So all the proceeds from that event I send to our local Cystic Fibrosis Foundation here in Ann Arbor, Michigan. And so it has been, thank you all for your condolences. I appreciate that. So it has been an event near and dear to my heart. We have raised, I forget how much it is over the course of the 9 years, but it's thousands of dollars, and all the proceeds go to that. So if you are long distance, it's $45 for what I consider the make and take kit and the product as a kind of like a retreat bundle. I make little handmade gifts. You get all those little handmade gifts, and then the classes are optional if you want to purchase them. I have a masculine card class, I have a spring card class, and then I'm doing a slimline card class. So I will have the link in the registration, or the link in the description of this video. It'll be up there at least by tomorrow, if not tonight. It's so hard for me to get it out there right after my live because I have to help kids with stuff, but it will be out there, or just message me, private message me or comment, and I'll try my best to get you that link if you're interested in supporting that event of mine. But it is a really fun event, and like I said, all proceeds, I think last year I was able to send $3,500 to the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, which is just amazing, and it's an amazing feeling to be able to support and give back like that. I also have most of my January kits have shipped, but I do have 2 Valentine card kits ready. So are left. If any of you need Valentine's Day cards, I do have 2 kits left. So let me know if you're interested in those, and I can give you information. So Nicole, my daughter-in-law, posts that that my little Chloe is ready to stamp. Yay! So she's such a little trooper. Okay, so also I have want to mention again the join promotion. If you're interested in joining, right now is a great time because we have the 2 free stamp sets. Any dollar value that you can get for free, in addition to your $125 of product, and you just pay $99 plus tax. So it's free shipping. Okay. So it's a great opportunity now through the end of February to take advantage of that. And you can get a permanent 20% discount on all your orders by doing that. If you want more information, again, you can just let me know. And then I do still have 2 classes that are open. We're getting ready to open up my February classes, but my Gumball Greetings class is still open, and so is my Hedgehogs, my beautiful happy Hedgehogs class, which I posted a picture of my sweet little Spike with that class earlier this week. I hope you all saw it. That was Spike right after Claire gave him a bath. He's our only boy hedgehog. So a few of you had questions about how we care for our hedgehogs, and I thought that was kind of neat because I'd never really talked about it. But each hedgehog has their own cage. So if you get them together and you put them together right from the beginning, you could keep obviously 2 girls together. 2 boys might fight. So when we got the girls' first 2 hedgehogs, we could have put them together, but we chose to separate them so they each had a hedgehog in their room and in their own separate cage. And then through the time of, isn't he adorable, Philomena? I know. And then through the time of the last couple of years, we ended up adopting a hedgehog from my niece. And then we ended up getting one for Claire when we thought her Taffy was going to pass away. Thank God Taffy didn't. She's a sweetheart. So they all have their own little unique personalities. And then we ended up adopting Spike from a family friend of ours through school. We used to babysit him, and the son just wasn't really into him as much, and the parents wanted him to go to a home where he could get a little bit more attention, and he could sit here with Claire. So anyway, but it was Spike that I posted a picture of, so I just thought that was kind of cute. So those 2 classes are still open. Okay, so with that, let's get into our sharing. So if you shared my video last week, I go live every week, not every month. But if you shared my video, you got into the drawing, and to receive one of 2 prizes. I had the brushed metallic adhesive back dots, and I had the crinkle, the whisper, or basic white, maybe it's whisper white, anyway, white crinkle ribbon. And the winner of the dots is Kelly Campbell. So congratulations to Kelly. And then the winner of the ribbon is Marcia Numerick. So congratulations to Marcia and to Kelly. And Marcia, I'll get yours in the mail to you. Kelly, I will get you yours when I see you at class next. Kelly comes to my classes pretty regularly. Okay, so let's see here what else I've got going on. Oh, you might want to know what you could win next week, right? Maybe? All right. So I see you guys are already sharing. I love it. Hi, Diane, and whoever. You guys are commenting. I'm missing some. I hate missing them. Anyway, but welcome to our new people joining me tonight. So up for grabs next week, I'll announce 2 winners. Again, if you just share my video and get in the drawing, we have the Genial Gems and Red Rhinestones, because who can't use red rhinestones? I use them for Christmas. I use them for Valentine's Day. They're just a really nice embellishment. So those are my 2 prizes for next week. All right, so with that, how about we transition my camera down and you can see some of the little sneak peek of what we're going to be sharing tonight. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some products that coordinate with the awesome Rainbow of Happiness bundle, a punch that coordinates with it, all kinds of awesome things. So let's go ahead and get started with our presentation tonight. Okay, so let me just transition this down here. And like I said, you're going to get a little sneak peek at some of the things that you're going to be seeing tonight. Shaky shake with the camera for a couple minutes while I get up here. And I need to move around my stand. I'm telling you, this has been the best thing ever. This stand helps my computer stay right at the right level that I want it so that I can easily see all of my comments. It's wonderful. So if Nicole, if you're still watching, you can tell my son that kudos. That was the best gift ever. Okay, so here is a little bit of what you're going to be seeing tonight. And I'm going to move all of the cards out of the way so you can't see all of them right now. But we're going to make a cute little box. But first I want to share with you the products that I'm going to be using. So this is the Rainbow of Happiness bundle. And I really like this bundle because it's got some awesome coordinating dies that go with it. Now this bundle is only $44, so it is not a very expensive bundle. I mean, some of our bundles can cost, you know, a little bit more. Hi, Peggy, and welcome. Oh, she's got a wintry blast in Minnesota. It is just cold, really cold here in Michigan. But in here you have a rainbow. You got some little mini clouds. You're going to see me use this awesome decorative die tonight. You're also going to see me use this little one right here, which is perfect for adding a sentiment to it. It's got a little rainbow on the top. Now, I did not make a card with this one, but there's a sample in the catalog with this. I don't know why I didn't, because normally I try to do a little bit of everything. But you're going to see, I think, a little bit of everything when it comes to this. So this bundle, like I said, is $44. You get these dies and the coordinating rainbow of happiness stamp set. However, if you're looking at purchasing this, you're going to want to make your order to $50, and here's the reason why. There is some awesome designer series paper that coordinates with that bundle that you can get for free with a $50 order. And this designer paper is called Sunshine and Rainbows, and it coordinates beautifully with that. And I'm going to see how you're going to get pieces here because I've used quite a bit of this. But these are some of the different designs that you have in here. So one side is really heavily on rainbows, and the other side, you just, even like, well, that's not rainbow, but you can use it for so many different things. So you don't have to use this just with that rainbow bundle. You can use it for other things as well, because one side is kind of more themed and the other side is not. So this is just a little bit of a synopsis of some of the paper that you get. I don't think take the time to get them all out, but aren't they gorgeous? I mean, so pretty. What I like about this paper is it's so bright. When I first saw this paper in the celebration offering, I wasn't sold on it. I'm going to be honest. I was like, okay, I like it, but however, the more I work with it and the more I design things with it, the more versatile it has become. And one of my favorite pieces, I'm not finding it real quick. Oh, this is one. This right here is one of my favorite pieces. And it doesn't even have anything to do with rainbows, but I love that pattern. Those colors are so pretty together. So like I said, with a $50 order, and if you get the rainbow bundle, you can add dimensionals, adhesive, something like that to it. And then you could get this designer series paper for free, okay? So the first thing, oh, I know what I wanted to show you real quick too with this paper. So one of the items, when I mentioned we had some coordinating products, we have this awesome cloud punch that is in the catalog. And that cloud punch, there's a piece of paper that you can punch out those clouds. So this right here is the paper, and this aligns perfectly with those clouds. So if you want some clouds to go with your rainbow, you don't need to even stamp any. You can just punch them out. Now you do only get about 7, I think it's 6 or 7, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 of them, because some of these are cut off. But again, it's free paper, so if you have an opportunity to get a couple packs of it, you wouldn't mind kind of wasting a little bit of that to get some of those awesome clouds. So you're going to be seeing me use those clouds tonight with this punch. Now this punch is not part of any bundle that coordinates with this. It's a standalone punch. It's $18, I do believe, and it's just called the Cloud Punch. But I love it. And you could also use this and just do white cardstock and maybe ink around the edges of it with some blue ink or pool party ink and give it a little bit of a nice effect as well. So that is one of the coordinating products that I wanted to share with you. Okay, so the first thing we're going to make is this cute box. Now this box is a little bit of a bigger box. And usually I haven't made them this big, so I thought, oh, I'm going to show you guys a little bit of a bigger box. Now you could put all kinds of things in here. What I thought would be neat, but I wasn't going to buy it because I would eat it, and I'm trying to be good again. But Skittles candy would be perfect with any of this rainbow stuff because you have the Skittles in all the different rainbow colors, right? But I do have some Valentine's Day candy here, which I've been really good about staying out of because next week my featured Facebook Live is going to be different 3D projects that you can do as little Valentine favors. So I did buy some candy for that. And so I did shove a little piece of candy in here so you can kind of see the size of the box. But you could also put all kinds of different little things in here. A little bit of like the shreddy stuff, and then you could add like little other pieces of candy. I mean, these boxes could come in handy for so many things. So we're going to make this together, and I'm going to give you the dimensions. I will also have the dimensions in the description of the video. And I usually do I usually do a blog post to follow my Facebook Live also. So if you have not found my blog yet, it's kimsbasementbunch.com. I'll be honest, it's a work in progress. I'm trying really hard to commit myself to posting to it more regularly and keeping it up to date. But it is probably the one thing that I fall behind on just because of my full-time job and life. But I'm working at it, right? That's the main thing. Progress is better than, what do they say? Progress over perfection. So I guess that's kind of where I'm at with that. So let's go ahead and make this box, and I will give you, like I said, the dimensions for it, and it's really kind of cool. Now we're going to be changing the colors up a little bit because I wanted to show you the versatility of changing colors, but still using the awesome, the theme of the whole box, right? Yes, taste the rainbow, Courtney. I love that. So for this one, what I changed up is the colors. We're going to be using the Bermuda Bay for the card box. I'm still going to use my basic white for the card lid. And then I have my piece of designer series paper. So I just kind of alternated the color for the box and the color for the lid. And then I cut out one of the rainbows that is just from that rainbow paper. So you can see it right here. And you can just cut those out. So I didn't even do any stamping on this project whatsoever. So this kind of really showcases the paper awesomely well. And then there you can see the little punch that I did with the, so we're gonna use the one that I just punched out as well for this project. So let's go ahead and get started making that. Now I already have my pieces cut, but they are not scored. So I wanted to show you how easy it is to do that. So the card, you bring in, and I just score using my my trimmer. So the card box itself is 8 by 8. And then we're gonna score this at 2 inches on all sides, okay? So we're just gonna score it at 2 inches. Sorry if I shake my camera a little bit, but I'm just scoring it at 2. Now you could also use your Simply Score board if you have that. I have that, but it's just so big for me to bring over for my videos. So I find if I just have a little bit of scoring to do, it's much easier to just do it with my trimmer and using the score thing. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and score the lid while we're at it as well. Now this lid is 6 by 6. So the box base is 8 by 8. The lid is 6 by 6. This we're going to be scoring only at 1 inch. Now, sometimes I like to be able to use the 1 inch on, let me make sure you guys can see this. So you have a 1 inch here, and then you also have a 1 inch here. So sometimes it's hard to hang on to it on this side and score. So I find myself using the 1 inch on this side because it's easier for me to be able to hang on to this part. So I'm going to use the 1 inch on that side. And I'm just going to score it. So you're going to score it at 1 inch on all 4 sides. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. And hello to Shelby. And I always say you're never late because you can always go back and watch the replay on anything that you missed. That's the joy of Facebook Lives. Okay, so I'm going to get my trimmer out of here, and then we're going to just assemble this cute little box. So we're going to use some paper snips here, and what we're going to do, and it doesn't matter which side you want to cut up on, but you're going to pick a side, you're going to cut up to the first score line, and we're going to do that on both sides. So I'm just going to cut up to the score line, and then I'm going to do it on the opposite side. So whatever side you do, you're going to do it on the opposite side, all right? And then I like to do what's called miter cut to get rid of a little bit of this excess. So I'm just going to cut that off, and I'm going to cut this little tab off. This just is so when I put the box together, I don't have a lot of that excess over the top, okay? So I'm just going to kind of cut these at an angle here, and then I'll just pick those out of here in just a little bit. And then I'm going to do the same thing here on the other side as well. So I'm just going to cut this off. Nothing fancy about it, just kind of cut a little bit of it off up to the corner. And on the other side as well. We're going to pick those out. All right, and then from there, I'm going to move the lid out of the way and get all of that out of the way. We're going to make the box. So you're just going to fold, and here's where you'd want to use your bone folder and get some really good folds. I'm just going to use my fingernails here and get some folds, but you're just going to fold the box up. And those of you that have watched me make boxes before, You know my little saying about make a tent. So many times I get the question from some of my customers, how do you know where to put the adhesive? So I always say make a tent. So if you make a tent for your little animals and your friends to crawl under, right, your little tent, that's where your adhesive is going to go on the 4 tabs while it's domed like a tent. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and flatten it. Now, if you might want to use a stronger adhesive like your tear and tape or your Stampin' Seal Plus. I am just going to use my regular seal for tonight, but I'm going to put adhesive on all of these 4 corners, okay? And then all we're going to do is fold these in. So you can see by cutting off that excess, it doesn't have me have any of that over top on that, okay? I love boxes too. Oh, Marilyn, you must have just popped on too. I think that's the first time I've just seen your name. So welcome, welcome. All right, so, and I didn't fold this score line very good, so let me get that folded better. There we go. And so you can see by doing that, it just kind of takes off the excess and gives you a little bit of a better, I didn't score that the greatest, but for purposes of demonstration, it's going to be just fine. So there's your card, your base of your box. All right, now we're going to do the same thing with the lid. Okay, so the lid we're going to cut up on 2 sides. You're going to do the same on the other side. And we're just going to cut up. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cut those little tabs off. And I like to just pick them out later because I don't want to overcut. So I just kind of grab them and pull them out. Oops, maybe. And then we're going to do it on the other side here as well. Oops. So again, nothing fancy. I'm just kind of, and it's okay if you cut a little bit more off on one side than the other. It's not really going to matter at all. And now we're going to go ahead and fold in. Oops, I don't have that one cut all the way up though. So let me do that. That might have been my problem with the last box too. So you want to make sure you cut up all the way to those score lines. Otherwise you're going to have, it won't fold up the best for you. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and fold this one up. So same thing, you're going to do the whole, I'm hoping you guys like my little hint there of making a tent, because I used to struggle with knowing where to put the adhesive too, and then you'd have it on the wrong side, have to rescore or refold your score lines. So by making the tent and knowing that it has to be domed, that's how you know where you need to put your adhesive. So it's always worked well for me. So I'm just going to add some adhesive here to the little tabs. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to fold all of those in as well. You're just lining up the seams. It's so fun. I like to do that too, just to fold a simple little box like that. Okay, so now your lid hopefully will fit on your box just fine. And it does. All right. And then, so you can see this is why you want to make sure you use a better adhesive, because mine just popped, but you get the idea. You're going to cut a piece of designer series paper that is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, and that is going to go on top of your box. And again, you can use any of these. I'm going to have to fix that because that's going to drive me bonkers. There we go. Let me make sure I squeeze that really good. All right, so now it'll fit on here really good. There we go. And then you're just going to put your paper on here on the top, and you're going to have it be a little bit smaller so you'll have that little border all the way around there. And then we're just going to use our paper snips and cut out one of these little rainbows. So again, this is part of the rainbow paper that you can get for free during Celebration. And I'll have an ordering link in the description of my video as well. So if you're interested in placing an order, you can do that and be able to get this. And anybody who puts in a minimum $30 order from now through Sunday night, you will get 3 of the projects that I'm demonstrating tonight already assembled. The box won't be assembled, but I could still, if you wanted the box, I could send you the box. You have to just assemble it. But you get 3 of the projects that I showcase for the night. So from here, I'm going to add some dimensionals onto this. So I'm going to put one here and one there and a couple onto the little, and again, absolutely no stamping. Everything here is just paper from that awesome paper bundle. So I'm just going to put the rainbow on here like that. And then I'm going to add the little cloud. It's a little bit of cloudy, a little bit of rain. add the cloud on top of the rainbow. So there you can kind of get a little take of by just making it different. But look at how many boxes you can get out of this pack of paper. Just change out your color scheme a little bit, change out you know, your top, and you've got a lot of different things you can do here with this cute little box. So the box is about 4 by 4 in size. And it can fit lots of awesome stuff. So anyway, hope you like the cute little box. I thought it was adorable. And like I said, mine that I made has some candy in it. I put some little Valentine's Day candy inside of it. Just so you can kind of see how big it is. Thank you, Philomena. All right. So moving right along, I'm going to go into some cards that I created with this bundle. And I really let my paper kind of run the show, so to speak, because I love this paper. So let me make sure I get my stamp area here all nice and clean. I got paper and those little miter cut things all over the place. I agree, Maureen. This paper is very sunny. It just, I don't know, brings a smile to my face. Like, I love working with this paper. I've used this paper for these cards. I used it for the Catching Butterfly cards, which I'm not sure I showcased my Catching Butterfly stuff yet. But I love it. Okay, so this is one of the cards that my Gales made for their make and take. One of the cards for their make and take for my, I call it my online fun party, but we play bingo. So if you haven't joined us yet for online bingo, it's a lot of fun. And last night their theme was rainbows. And so they made 4 cards using this. And I even gave them a cute little, surprised them all with a neat little rainbow themed bag that was very bright and festive, and their little make and take kit and their bingo cards and all that were right inside of it. It was really cute. So anyway, so for this card, I used the Pool Party 5½ by 8½ for my card base, and then I have my So Saffron 5 1/4 by 4, followed by the Pool Party piece that is 5 by 3 3/4. Now you're gonna see, on this one, I like to do things a little bit different once in a while. So on this one, I cut my paper. Can you see that pattern? The lines go up and down. And this one, they go across. But it gives it just a little bit of a different look just by changing out how you cut your paper. So we are going to adhere these together like that. And then this is going to get adhered down to my card. Now that So Saffron, doesn't it just make that kind of pop on that card? So again, when you're working with bright colors, I like to add a layer to it. It just kind of makes everything else pop. That sun just pops because of that nice yellow that I put behind there. Okay, then I cut a 1 3/4 inch strip of paper. This is 1 3/4 by 5. And then I have a piece of 2 by 5 Bermuda Bay to put behind it. And you're gonna put it, now you can either put it off to one side and have, you know, more of a strip on this side. But for this card, I put it right in the middle. They're both the same size, so you're only gonna have the 1/4 inch overlay on the 2 sides, not on the top and bottom. So I'm gonna adhere this down to that layer here. And then I did use some of the ribbon. This is the ribbon that I'm giving away next week, as any of you that share my video tonight. So I did add some of the ribbon to this piece, and I'm gonna, even though it's a little piece, I'm still gonna do my little cheater method on my ribbon. So I just add a little bit of adhesive to the back of it. I cut a piece a little bit bigger than the width of this so I can wrap it around, although I may have cut it more bigger than I wanted to. And then I'm going to adhere this down to my card. I like to adhere the piece down to my card before I add the knot, because it makes it so that it's not quite as, oh, and I need to make that straight. Makes it so it's not quite as hard to adhere that down because it still has no bumpies on it. So we're going to adhere that down, and now I'm going to cut my little piece of ribbon to put underneath there. So I got to tell you a little bit about this ribbon. If you struggle, like here in Michigan, we have a problem right now with static. Like this ribbon, it sticks to me. So Kay, who helps me with a lot of my different projects, she had to use this ribbon last year for a lot of different projects that I had her working on. If you just take a damp cloth, very, very damp, and just barely wet this ribbon, it takes all that static out. So if you have issues with that, you're able to use it. Like tonight, it's not bad. But sometimes it just, have you ever had it where it just sticks to your fingers, especially in our climate here? But that is a nice little tip of how you can use the ribbon and not have it stick everywhere or have it stick to you and be all staticky. So I love that little tip that she told me myself. Okay, so then I used this little shape right here. This is one of the dies that I showed you. And on the other side, so all of my stamped images tonight, or all of my greetings, come from the Rainbow of Happiness stamp set. Because again, the Rainbow of Happiness to me is all about being happy and sending cards to people to brighten their day. So I like the sentiments. You have, you make me happy. You make this world a better place. I love that one, which is what I use on my card. And then we have, thank you, sending you a rainbow of happiness. So like a rainbow. So that would be neat, like stamped in the middle of this, if you were to do a lot of stamping. And then a little something to brighten your day. So what I did is I adhered that behind a piece of Bermuda Bay cardstock, just big enough to kind of be able to have that kind of pop out a little bit. So anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere this down. Thank you, Shireen. Like I said, this paper is so pretty, and it's just a nice pick-me-up card, you know. So if you have friends that you send cards to regularly, or family members to just say, hey, you know, I want to let you know I appreciate you, or sending you a card to brighten your day because, you know, we have the winter blahs going on here in Michigan. That's what I really like about this paper. It's perfect for that. And the rainbows to me are just a really good thing for so many, you know, just makes you happy, right? Okay, so then this is just going to get put on here like that. And then I embellished my cards with some rhinestones. So for this, I'm just gonna, and all I have here in front of me is my tiny ones. They're the same ones that I used for my online bingo class last night. But you know, they all gotta get used up. So I'm just gonna put two little ones down here on the bottom. On my sample, I used one big and one little. But again, you can kind of mix and match that up any way that you want. But look how pretty that is. And again, I want to encourage you not to be afraid to layer, because I really think that if I would have not put that yellow on here, this card would not have popped as much. So layering your cards and putting different layers in there is really a neat way of just kind of adding to your card, just by adding a simple layer of cardstock. So, and then I wanted to kind of pop out the Bermuda Bay. Now you could also use this and pop out the Magenta Madness if you wanted to. So again, you can kind of get creative with the colors, but I took advantage of it being nice and bright and went with it. So, all right, so that is our first card. So my next card is probably, I have two favorites, and this is one of my favorites. Then this is also one of the cards that my group made last night. Thank you, Philomena. And so I'm going to tell you a little secret, because if Kay is watching my Facebook Live tonight, she's laughing hysterically. So this was actually, I participate in swaps when the new catalog comes out. And so I had asked Kay if she would put some swap cards together for me. And she goes, yeah, I'd love to. So anyway, I gave her all the supplies. I already had them all cut, and she had to just put them together. And I get a text from her, and she's laughing at me because I had cut all this paper the wrong way. I had cut it this way. And she says, Kim, I don't think you want your rainbow to look like that. And I went, well, I guess it might work. She goes, your paper isn't going to be long enough. And anyway, I had to recut all the paper so that, because it totally looks better like this, right? So anyway, it was a big joke that we had. And so she knew that I was doing the rainbows tonight, and I told her she was going to laugh at me when I started this card. So I thought, I'm just going to let you guys know my silly mistake and how silly that rainbow would have looked. And so I'm glad she caught it and told me to redo it, because I'd have been embarrassed sending cards to other demonstrators that looked like that. All right, so for this card, I used the Magenta Madness, and last night I couldn't remember the name of this cardstock for the life of me. I was calling it so many different wrong things. Again, I chose that colored pop. Can you see my color pop right there? So on this card, I used the Mango Medley or Mango Melody? I don't even remember. But now together, those two are like, they look horrible. But by the time you incorporate another piece inside of here and you only have that little bit showing, look how that pops. So if I did not use that and I only used this, can you see the difference? I'm going to actually layer this so you can kind of see what I'm talking about here. It's all about that layering and making it pop, okay? So don't be afraid to add layers to things. Just pick a color that's in the cardstock or in the designer series paper and go with it, okay? So there's a little tip for you. So for this one, I'm just going to add these two together. So I am going to add, now these are just cut, my card mat on this one, again, is the mango, and it is cut 5 1/4 by 4. Hello to Deb, thank you for joining us. And then this piece is cut 5 by 3 3/4. So I'm just gonna layer those two together. Now I did add some ribbon around the bottom here, and again, it's the same white ribbon, I used the same one. So we're just going to cut a little piece here. So if the Rainbow Happiness bundle is on your list, like I said, I really encourage you to get it before the end of Celebration. So Celebration ends the end of February, and that is when this paper is going to be going away, okay? So I'd hate for you to not be able to get the paper. That kind of just makes this whole bundle kind of happen, okay? Otherwise, I mean, you can still make lots of pretty cards, don't get me wrong, but I really think that the detail is in this paper that goes with it to kind of make it pop. And exactly, Deb, the layers are huge, I think, when you're making cards, and it makes a card go from okay to oh wow, it just pops it, right? Okay, so then I'm going to add my little piece on here in just a couple minutes, but I'm going to tell you how I kind of added this together. Now I stamped the You Make Me Happy. Again, that comes from the same stamp set, the Rainbow of Happiness stamp set, and I stamped it on the bottom using the Magenta Madness ink. Now on the back of here, we're just going to add a little bit of adhesive to the little corners of this. I'm not going to add any adhesive to the actual rainbow part, but this paper is then going to get stuck behind here. Now you can kind of move it up and down however you want, as long as you have it covered. And I want to make sure I get a little bit of that pink in there because you know I'm a pink person. So there you have how it just adds color to that rainbow. And then you can go ahead, and it's okay that this is a little bit crooked because no one is going to see that at all. And so I'm going to add this onto a piece of the gumball green. And then this is going to get adhered down to my card using some dimensionals. So I'm just going to add a dimensional to the 4 corners of this. And I embellished it with some rhinestones. So again, you can kind of pick your rhinestones that you want on it. And this will go down onto my card up here. And then we're going to add, my ribbon's a little crooked, but that's okay. We're going to add a little piece. I'm going to cut a little piece off here, and we're just going to go underneath my card, underneath this ribbon, and I'm just going to tie this little piece on. So that is how, if you're new to watching me, this is how I do my ribbons and bows. I'm a lefty, so I cannot make the very best bows, but I can make the best cheater bows. And so that is my little cheater bow. All right, and then rhinestones. So you can add a few rhinestones. So thank you, Pat, and thank you for joining. Now you can always come back and watch the rest on replay. So I'm just gonna add a couple more rhinestones. So maybe I should be using my take your pick tool, but you know, I'm a lazy stamper, I admit it. So I always take whatever I have in front of me and make it work. There we go. All right, and so there you have that card. Can you see the different colors though with the different paper? So it's one piece of paper. So that paper is, let me see if I can find it in my pattern, my pack here. So I only showed you a few pieces of it. You are welcome, Deb. I'm glad you liked the card. But I'm gonna try to see if I can find, I might not be able to because I've used a lot of that paper and because I made a mistake and had to cut more. Oh, well, here's a little piece of it. So it looks like this. So it's just 12 or 6 by 6, and it looks like this, and you get a full 6 by 6 piece. So depending on where you cut it, you're going to get a different look to the colors of your rainbow. So that was what I wanted to share. So, all right, so let's see, moving right along. So what do we have next? I know I'm not going to have time to share all of them with you. So let me share, I want to share this one for sure. Because this one is a quick and simple and easy card, and it showcases that awesome die that I was talking to you about. The little like rainbow looking scallopy die. Isn't that gorgeous? So I really like this. It's so cool. And this just showcases 2 of the pieces of paper. Again, layers, 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 layers. So I'm gonna go ahead and fold this in half. This is my card base, 5.5 by 8.5. So I'm just gonna fold that. And then we have basic white, 5 1/4 by 4, And then I have 2 pieces of this different colors of this paper. This paper is cut 3 3/4 by probably 1 1/2. And Mary, I did get your message, and I am so sorry I haven't called you back. Work has been crazy, but yes, I can definitely do that. So yeah, Mary had called about my caddies, and I know that I've talked about them a couple times, and we are still taking orders for the caddies. So if you haven't seen the caddy, if you're new, this is the caddy that my friend Lucas has been printing on his 3D printer. They are $20, $28 to have them shipped to you. They are he is doing them in pink, purple, and blue. But I will tell you, I announced last week that he had a printer breakdown. So they are made to order, or made as orders come in. So like he does not have a bunch of them made in advance, because you know that would be a big expense for him. So as orders come in, every week I'm giving him those orders. So but then he had a printer problem, and his printer broke down. So it took him 10 days to get the part to fix it. So that delayed his printing a little bit. So I will have will tell you that he is going to be, if you've ordered in the first batch is going out next week. So that would be probably 95% of you that have ordered. So I'm so excited to announce that. He's going to be dropping them off to me at my house either tomorrow night or a day this weekend. So it's just a matter of me getting them packaged up and shipped out to all of you. So I'm stoked about that. And so, yeah, so Mary, I know that you wanted another one, and I can definitely do that. So that will not be an issue. So I'm sorry. I'm glad you commented and asked, because I meant to at least email you back on that. Okay, so this is the little die that I mentioned. Now, when you cut this die out, this is the size that you get. But I like that because I think it's a 6x6, but you can cut it down to whatever size that you would want it to be. Okay, so I'm going to cut the 2 ends off, because by doing that, you can see here you get it at the end of a scallopy, so you're not going to have it in the middle. So I'm just going to cut off the 2 little ends, so one there and one here. So by doing that, I have a complete on both sides, and it's going to be the perfect size I need it to be. So now for this, you're going to want to use some kind of a, whoops, and then I go dropping my bone folder. You're going to want to use some kind of a liquid glue or the adhesive sheets. I'm just using the Tombow glue. And because this Tombow glue has a little spot in my holder, I don't have to sit there and pound it on my Facebook Lives anymore. So it's always ready for me to have. I have it upside down in there all the time, and it is ready to go. So anyway, oh, and Courtney says she put her humps like a rainbow, so you can do that as well. I did mine. I'm going to do that this time. So I'm going to put mine up like this. I did mine down. So Courtney played my does my online bingo. So she got to actually make this card last night. So yeah, there you go. Again, just a little bit of a different look if you wanted something different. And then I added the "You Make Me Happy" on there. So it's just stamped on a 1/2 inch piece of basic white. And I just cut it off at an angle like that. And I'm just going to cut off the end there too. Exactly, Sarah. That's exactly what I said too. These cards are perfect just for brightening someone's day as we're in the middle of winter here in Michigan. Although I gotta say, January has been going really fast. Like, I already can't believe it is January 20th. I'm just like, I was talking to my boss about that today at work, and he said the same thing. He's like, even though I'm ready for spring, January, like, I don't know where it went. And I'm like, I agree. Okay, so then what I did is I used some of our layering circles to cut out some circles. And this is just the Designer Series paper. But look at the pretty little embellishment you get. And I love these 2 colors together. Obviously, you can tell that's what I paired together on the box that I showcased earlier. So these 2 colors are my favorite 2 paired together with this bundle. I don't know why, but they just are. I really like them. So we're just going to adhere these together. So you're just going to go to your layering circles, find ones that coordinate, and layer them together. And then I adhered this piece on using some dimensionals right here, and that's it. So the only thing stamped on here is the little "You Make Me Happy" from the stamp set, and I used a scrap piece of white, and you can see I just kind of cut it off at an angle. Nothing fancy. Hello, Chris, and welcome. So I'm just going to go ahead and adhere this down to my card right here. And voila. but isn't that a pretty embellishment in the middle? And it doesn't cut out really hard at all. I was kind of worried that it might cut out a little bit more difficult since it's more of an intricate die, but it didn't. I had no issues with cutting that out. Okay, so I'm going to make my next card with you, and if we have time, I'll show you my very last one. I do have another one. I always usually do 5, but this one, I wanted to showcase some of those cute little clouds. So this is one that my bingo gals did not make last night. I made this one kind of last minute because again, I wanted to showcase some additional things that maybe I haven't shown yet in the other cards. So in the dies, you can actually cut out all of these little rainbow layers, any color that you want. And that is what I did here on this card. So for this one, I have basic white as my card base. Cut at the standard size, 5.5 by 8.5. Folding it in half. Gumball green, just because I mentioned that gumball green is one of my favorite colors paired with this. And I ran this piece through the Stamp Emboss die cut machine using the new gingham embossing folder. That gingham folder is part of the Valentine Sweet Conversation bundle. And that is just going to go onto my card. And then I have a piece of 3x3 designer series paper. And that was done on purpose so that I can get 4 pieces out of a 6x6. And then I layered that behind a 3¼ by 3¼ Bermuda Bay, like I mentioned, one of my favorite colors. All right, so what we're gonna do first is we're gonna add some ribbon onto this. Thank you, Deb. This card is probably one of my favorites too. This one and the one that I made a mistake on with the paper are probably my 2 favorite cards out of all of them that I created with this bundle. I just really like them. Okay, so we're gonna add the ribbon around here on the bottom. And again, it's just cut big enough to kind of wrap around this layer. And then I'm gonna adhere it down before I add the little knot piece. I actually do that for 2 reasons. One, it's easier to adhere this down before you have the knot. But since I've added adhesive here, I don't want it to stick to the back of my table or whatever your backdrop might be. So I'm just gonna adhere that on. And now I'm gonna go ahead and cut my little piece here to go underneath, and we're just gonna wrap it around here. Hey Beth, and thank you. Yeah, this is such a fun bright bundle. Brightens me up just to use it because it's so pretty. All right, so there's our little ribbon wrapped around there. And then we're gonna adhere these 2 pieces together. Again, oh, my favorite. But I liked the more solid for this one. But that is one of my favorite pieces from this paper pack. I just love the colors of it. So we're going to layer the 3x3 piece onto the 3¼ by 3¼ and then that is going to get put on with dimensionals to the top part of my card. So we're going to put one in all of the corners here. And I'm going to have to get my scissors out and cut the edges of those dimensionals because I'm all out of them. Can't waste those edges. I never do. I cut them up and I use them on all my cards and projects. All right, so I'm just going to put this down here to the top. And then I have all those little pieces that I cut for my rainbow, okay? So, and what I did for these are actually just scraps of designer series paper because I had lots of scraps and I'm like, why not just use some scraps? And I'm not gonna actually take the time to glue all of these on because I would keep you guys here probably forever. But all I did is I used my Tombow glue, my liquid Tombow glue, and I adhered the pieces on here and made my little rainbow like that. And maybe I move it up just a smudge. Oops. And then I added my clouds with dimensionals. So these clouds that you are seeing right there are actually clouds that are part of the dies. So let me see if I've got some here. They're so little that I'm hoping I didn't lose them in my stash of I don't have them here, so I might have lost them. But these little dies, or these little clouds, are part of the dies that come with the rainbow bundle, okay? And then I did a little something to brighten your day, layered it behind the Magenta Madness, and put that down here on the bottom. Again, I used this. Now this one I did it just like the rainbow. So that one I did. I just cut 4 of these off. So I made sure I cut it where I had 4. And I adhered that down just for a little bit of decoration. Added rhinestones to the centers of all 4 of those. and you have a really cute, cute, cute card. Okay, so we're coming close to 8 o'clock. All of you know that I like to not keep you guys past 8. So I'm just going to show you my last card for tonight and kind of talk to you about how I made it. So it is this one right here. And this one I really showcased I wanted to look more like it's cloudy. And I used the designer series paper. And again, paired it with one of those awesome colors. And then my card base is the Misty Moonlight, but you can see how that, again, pops that right out, right? It just pops that right out. And then what I did though is I wanted this to be a little bit muted. So I added, and I don't know if I have it here in I must have forgot to cut that, but I muted mine down with a little bit of vellum. Can you see the vellum behind here? And so I just glued a little bit of vellum on that, so it muted it down in the middle, so that then I could just go ahead and layer my little pieces. Again, I have the clouds that were cut out from that paper that I showcased earlier, and added my little strips of paper. So these are the paper strips that I added, and cut one as a little banner, and added a little something to brighten your day to it. And you have this awesome, awesome card. So let me bring in all of the cards in the project that I showcased tonight, the 3D project, so you can kind of see them. If you joined me a little bit late, you can always go back and catch the replay. And this is actually going to be one of my class options that I will be offering in February. So this class will actually go live in the next week or so, probably not to maybe a week and a half. And again, I just love, love, love it. So, oh, that is pretty, Beth. So yeah, and Deb, that little vellum trick works with so many things, and it's a good use of the vellum. You still get the look, but it just kind of mutes that out for you to be able to add more of a focal point to the center of your card. So just a little tip there that I have learned through my card making process. And I am missing one of my cards. Oh, I'm missing the one I showcased last. This one right here. So those are all of the cards that I featured. And then this is the little box that I showcased. So this is the one that I had already pre-made, and this is the one that we made together, again, just using some of that paper. I'll have the measurements for the box in the description of my video. I'll also list the registration link if you're interested in my online retreat to go for cystic fibrosis, which is my annual fundraiser that I do in March. And I just want to thank you all for joining me tonight. So next week I will be showcasing Valentine's Day. It will be my last Valentine's Day projects, and I'll be showcasing some 3D projects and things that you can make to give to, like I like to give the people at the bank and different people I work with little treats. And one will go to Lucas for all of his hard work on your guys' caddies. So next week I'll be showcasing some 3D projects just in time for Valentine's Day. So thank you all so very much for joining me, and I'm glad you all liked my cards, liked my projects. Hope you come back next Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for my next Facebook Live. So thanks everyone, and bye.